And it's Athletics LLC time. Happy day, everyone. Welcome back. Tiles all put together, kind of. It's almost August. Holy moly. Welcome one, welcome all. We're going to talk about some track and field and maybe a little bit in between. But Packhouse 9, how are you? Pack 9 Powerhouse.
Jesus.
Rhyming.
House 9. Wow, you just changed your name, dude.
I am clearly doing better than you. I am clearly doing better than you.
Oh, man. It's quite a festive pergola you got there, sir.
You know, that's why I did it. I like the pergola view, you know. Got some nice ambiance type lights and stuff. You know.
Cool story, bro. Clyde, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. Lots of information and nonsense coming through my phone. And you butchered my man's well-played name.
I mean,
Pack
right?
9 Powerhouse is hilarious. And you just killed the joke.
I did.
You did. You did.
Oh, man. Oh, the governor is an alien.
Fantastic behavior.
I mean,
Definitely chewtastic. That is going to be a new hashtag chewtastic.
Oh, man. How are you tonight, Governor?
He's an alien.
Hey, if what I saw on my little screen is in any way true, I mean, all of those, all I can think of is E.T. Like, really? Like, yes, like, for real? I rest my
It's happening. That's really funny. Sir Lucius, last but definitely never least. Are you praying for everyone right now?
Absolutely. I'm just happy to be here. I just, still recovering from my jaunt across the pond, and this one got me a little bit. So I'm trying to recover from it, but getting there. A little bit better either.
I feel like it's an accumulation thing.
You know, it's a first world problem when when you're hanging out in Monaco and London.
See, first of all, who was in Monaco? I wasn't in Monaco. So why you putting me places I wasn't there? See, don't do that. I was not in Monaco. I am extremely disappointed that I couldn't go to Monaco.
Right.
Let's be real, because I love Monaco, but I wasn't there this year. The next year, I will be back.
Maybe that's why you had your luggage this year. Last year you went to Monaco and you didn't have luggage, so.
Well, see, the problem wasn't Monaco. Like, the problem was the people in between Monaco and Budapest. So we're not blaming Monaco for anything, though. Monaco is wonderful. Not their fault. Not their fault.
All right. Well, enough foolery. Let's get down to business. Last week we started a conversation that apparently we were not done having. We were told we were not done having. Last week we spoke about the USATF, and the discussion was regarding the development that USATF has or does or lack thereof. What are some ways that we can do it differently, if you so will?
Let me lead off this, and I'm going to try not to stir up the pot too much here. But okay, so somehow we've got this skewed, right? So imagine a world where there are no athletes. If you don't have athletes, then nobody has a job, right? Imagine a car that has no engine. It will not run. The athletes are the engine, but nobody wants to take care of the engine. Nobody wants to take care of the athletes who allow certain people to make lots of money, we'll just say, and do lots of things. So the EP and I have talked about this a little bit. And so through the US OC and all the stuff like that, we're charged with winning certain amount of medals every year. We pour hundreds of thousands of dollars into trying to win 2 medals. The 4x1 women and the 4x1 men, right? We hundreds of thousands of dollars that could be used to fund athletes, could be used to have athletes, get treatment and care and all that stuff, right? To could be used to have coaches who are trying to get better be mentored by other coaches. We do all of this because we're trying to win 2 medals. And again, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have an attempt to win medals in the 4x1. So don't make me a meme and say that I don't give a crap about the 4x1. Well, I really don't. But anyway, so at the end of the day, winning, if we put some of that money into the development of our athletes in other event areas, then maybe we would have to be so reliant on those 2 medals. Does that make sense? No? That hundreds of thousands of dollars, there's the 51-second girl or the 45-second guy that are run out of the sport because they can't afford to stay in it and become great while we're chasing 2 medals. There's the young coach that needs to be mentored, that can get better and help their young athlete get better. But we're chasing 2 medals. So we got it all backwards. We got it all skewed because at some point in time, we're lucky that we have this incredible pool of athletes and coaches who are hungry and want to get it done. But, take care of the people who allow you to make the money that you make.
Sure.
I thought you wanted me to keep going. I mean, I can keep going.
He had more.
No, you're good. You're good. I'll stop. Go ahead.
It always has just blown my mind when, well-off people or organizations cry poor mouth. And, there's a lot of money being spent by USATF. And what I have always felt was missing, and it's kind of what the AAC brought to light at the annual meeting with, basically outing, the hierarchy's contracts and what they got paid, right? USATF has always lacked transparency because that is how they have been able to create these programs that are single-minded, that are ridiculous. I can't call them wastes of money, right? Because any money you're spending in develop, good. I'm glad somebody's getting it used for. But when you're spending an inordinate amount of money to create high altitude camps to try to possibly get a distance medal, or you're bringing 15 staff members, 10 coaches, and 12 athletes, to a training camp, immediately following a meet in London. And this is all under the, and not to mention the meets that we do, here. We send relay groups to the Florida relays. We send relay groups to the Texas relays. We send relay groups to Mount Sac. So we spend all of that money, because when you add it all up, it is all in the pursuit of 2 medals. And if you had to be transparent about that, it couldn't happen, right? Because if you had to be transparent about that, then all of the, American long jumpers, triple jumpers, decathletes, quarter milers, 200-meter runners, you name it, that have world-class level credentials, but have not made a team yet, have not reached that top tier yet, they would all be like, now explain it again why I don't have any money and you're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to try to pursue, let's be clear, 2 gold medals, because it is a complete and utter failure if we don't win the 2 gold medals. Right? That's the part. Right? That's the ridiculous part, right? Other countries spend on their Olympic development programs what we spend trying to win the 2 4x1s. And that just doesn't make any sense to me. And it's not because I don't love the 4x1. Of course I do. But I would also love to see us have a much broader base. I mean, I said this in the first year, right? Like, if we put together a system that tried to support and win medals on a consistent basis in a pipeline fashion, we would probably win twice as many medals as we win now. We would go to world championships and win 50 or 60 medals.
What does that look like to you from an American perspective?
Well, what it looks like is somebody willing to work. What it looks like is somebody not sitting behind a desk saying, "Oh, don't worry, the coaches will figure it out." What it looks like is somebody, let's talk about talent identification. Let's talk about, okay, we put people in these tier systems and we give them money, but are we making sure that the money that we give them is being put to good use? Okay. Let's talk about, again, the hundreds of thousands of dollars we spend on these relay camps and these relay this and these relays that. And so I've been saying this since season 1. We were doing better before we started doing all this mess.
Also true.
Right? So we're spending all this money. I mean, I think everybody on these tiles has either coached or been associated with an athlete that if they just had a little more support, we might have found how good they could be, right? But the moment they have a bad year, and if you're a tier athlete, whoop, you're out now. It's the most broken system ever.
I mean, how about the fact that the USATF pay a relay coach, but they don't. But every other director of an event area is a volunteer.
2 relay coaches.
2 relay coaches, 1 per gender, right? But there's no decathlon coach. There's no 100-meter coach. There's no, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't do that. So it's just weird to me. It always has been. It's not weird. It's wrong, but we've been taught to. It's been done to us for so long that we have gotten to the point where we have like Munchausen syndrome and we act like it's normal.
Yeah. See, and fortunately or unfortunately, I have had the misfortune or the fortune of being involved in a lot of this for a long time. There's a lack of transparency. There's a lack of consistency. And I think the biggest issue that I will always have is that the people that are getting crapped on the most are the athletes. And without the athletes, there is no USATF because the TF part of USA is gone. So at some point in time, we have to do a better job of taking care of the people who are USATF. It's not the higher ups that are sitting behind their desk. It's not the people, don't get me wrong. Everybody plays their role, but those roles can't be considered bigger than the athletes. And I totally agree with Pac-9. I mean, if we would put more emphasis on our development, we'd get even more medals than we do.
Well, so I don't necessarily disagree with any of that, but I guess I'm asking the 2 of you at the moment. I'm sure the governor has thoughts.
Absolutely, he does.
Specifically, what that would look like? Like, what's the specific improvement? It's clear that right now the conversation is that the domestic relay program is considered to be a waste of money. Cool.
Okay, let's go further. It's a failure.
It's a failure.
Cool. No problem. So you do away with the domestic relay program and do what to improve development?
Well, like I said, I mean, I think you have to fund the athletes better, especially those that don't have contracts, because, you have an athlete that's trying to develop to be a world-class athlete that's on their feet 6 or 7 hours a day before they can go to practice or after they go to practice, right? So that money can be funneled into areas where people, I know you've dealt with this. So you're lobbing stuff up right now. I'm on to you right now. See, I see where you're going with this.
I have absolutely.
No, you're absolutely lobbing it up, and I'm gonna grab it for you. Okay, so you help fund, so athletes don't have to work. You give them an ability so that they have a place to train, not just on a track, but in a weight room. You give them money so they can have, great, not just a little bit of money, but a large enough sum of money so they can get consistent care from a physio, right? Those kind of things. Because as you know from coaching world-class athletes, the better the athlete, the more physio work they need, right?
No question.
And these are things that a lot of them can't get because they don't have the funding to do so, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I'll tell you, Tiana had worked out financially what it would legitimately cost her to pursue her defense of her Olympic championship in real dollars, in real time, with all of these issues, medical care, training, blah, blah, blah. And, we know these examples in the quote unquote bigger sports, right? Like LeBron James is famous for saying he invests $1 million a year in his healthcare, right? In all the things he needs. Tiana worked out any year that she's won a medal, she probably spent about $100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And that might be mind-blowing to hear. I know it was for me when I first heard it from her, put so raw and so detailed. Because let's be for real, the vast majority of the athletes in the sport don't make anywhere near $100,000 on their contracts. You're talking about the top 1 or 2% that get that. Everybody else is, hodgepodging it together, getting it how they can.
But the vast majority of track and field athletes probably get 50 to 60% of that number donated by someone or some entity.
Yes, exactly. That's why you have so many people connecting themselves to collegiate programs, because they can be slid in and out, where, appropriately and where there is space to do so. So I don't necessarily disagree. We've had some epic relay discussions on this show over the years. And the one thing that I think we all came to a consensus on, it was that it shouldn't be that difficult to put together the group, whoever the group needs to be coming out of trials, and putting together a unit to go do your thing. I don't think any of us have a problem with the existence of a quote unquote relay camp post USA's to go get ready for the show. That's
the one thing I think we should pay for.
Right.
That makes sense.
Absolutely.
It's all
that
the
is
other
essential.
Right.
If we're going to be successful, that part of it is essential.
Right.
But to have to go to Florida relays or Tom Jones or Texas relays or Mount Sac or Southern relays, used to be
London.
Penn relays, or London, like that. I mean, let me start it on that.
The London thing was weird. I ain't gonna lie. The London thing was odd. But yes, I don't necessarily disagree with that. I guess for me,
so since we said London, I'm sure I'll get a call about this. I don't care. Okay, we ran 4 girls in London, and there's a possibility that not one of them will touch the track in Budapest. Possibility. Not saying this is likely, but it could happen. There's a possibility that not one of those 4 girls will ever touch the track in Budapest.
And remind the audience, if they didn't see it, who were the 4 that ran?
Jefferson to
Yes.
Terry to Bryant to Hobbs.
I would bet money that 75% of that team never sees the track in Budapest.
Then we spent a lot of money for what?
Yeah, and again, here's my thing. I want everybody to understand this. I'm not hating on the relay. I don't think it's bad that we fund these things. I just think it's holistically bad that we fund these things instead of development across the board. If we were
for 2 medals.
Yes. So if we were already funding and supporting our basis, right, across all of the event areas, and then we did that, I'd be like, Absolutely. Now we're doing the icing on top. But like, look, I'll pick a person, right? Because I think sometimes people, this stuff isn't poignant unless they do a real person. There is an athlete who has a PV of 10-0, 20-0, and 45-0, who no longer has eligibility, who didn't make the final at USA, so doesn't have a shoe contract, who, if someone doesn't support him, if he's not supported by his school and, and people carrying him, by ways of, the weight room and coaching and all those things, right? If he just has to, okay, now you're done, go be a professional, I'm not sure he can survive his first year out of college because he does not qualify for any funding help at all from USATF. This is somebody who's run 10-0, 20-0, and 45-0. I'm sorry. That needs to be supported at age 20 frigging 2.
So I asked y'all for something specific, so I'm not going to dodge it and not give you anything specific. Off the top of my head, as I'm sitting here listening to you guys and thinking about it, here's what I would love to see development of these people look like for us. And you can't do it with everybody, right? I think, and the biggest problem with my idea is it would require mass transparency. And this is what we don't do.
Transparency is the key to all of this.
Right. But I say that in every event area that there is, you take the top three ranked, and I don't mean, rankings are a whole nother issue, but the top 3 ranked athletes, call it top 5 if you want, the top 5 ranked athletes per discipline that are unsigned, and give them a floor of income, 30 grand, whatever. At least that will put them in a position to stabilize their lives so they can focus on training. And, the powerhouse will hate this. If you want to go top 3 in the field events and top 5 in the running events, I'm with it. Right?
We're not doing that.
I'm with it. But
we're not doing that.
But why did you even do that? Come on.
But the key to it legitimately is it's the unsigned people, because there are a bunch of supremely talented human beings that are unsigned and remain unsigned.
So I'll jump in there. Is the USA champion in the 100 meters currently signed?
Nope.
I don't believe so.
Nope.
Okay. Now,
yeah.
Case in point, right?
Look, yeah.
So,
which by the way,
I don't think 2 of the 3 guys that made the 400 hurdle team are signed.
There you go.
And one of them got a medal.
So we can obviously see those pockets, and we can go event by event, and we could literally, now, is it painstaking? Absolutely. Are you going through 20 plus disciplines, 2 genders, and trying to find out who do we
don't dumb it down for people and make it sound like it's harder than it is. Look, there's analytics departments in every single sport.
But hold on.
There's somebody who finished that job in 2 hours.
Hold on a second. I am going to be an absolute jerk here for a second, right? Okay. This governing body, there are 2 important meets a year, because nobody cares about the USA indoor meet. Nobody does, so don't act like it. So you've got the USA outdoor meet and you got Worlds. And you got some other meets that are there. But when we're talking about the senior level, there's 2 meets that are important, right? Those 2 meets happen within a 6-week period, right? Right? So there's how many weeks in a year?
52.
Right.
Okay. Right. Minus 6 is what?
40.
46.
40.
You asked
40,
public
44. 44.
46.
Minus 6 is 46.
46. Oh, Lord.
46.
Okay. So that leaves you 46 other weeks of the year to do this stuff. It's just that nobody's trying to do it. and I'm not trying to act like USA Track and Field is just the most awful organization in the world, because that's not what I'm saying. But we can do things better.
I mean,
And again, I'm always going to stand up on this soapbox, because if we take away the athletes, none of them have a job. Go
so
ahead, Governor, I apologize.
here's the thing. The UK Athletics has a lottery.
Mm-hmm. They do.
If you earn it, you get it. Right?
That's right. That's right.
If you are someone that has busted your tail and you've earned the right to represent Great Britain, here you go. There are tiers to it. Canada has had a lottery for forever. It's called, when you're carded, right? And the thing about it that's being missed is that you're literally describing the DNA of the organization, right? We have had Project Long Jump. We have had a throws project. We have had a major distance program, right?
Huge one.
We're in the midst of Project 4x1, right? And again, and I'm not belaboring it, all of these projects have cost a lot of money, right? Why is it that we're putting this much emphasis on the 4x1? You know why? Because enough people are screaming bloody murder, right? Why isn't the team with the fastest per person, group of individuals, why are we not winning? So we have these situations where they show up at Texas Relays with, were they not 3 on each side?
At least 3 teams, at least.
So that day, think about how much that day cost in order to facilitate those people, right? And at the end of the day, like, what are we accomplishing? What are we getting out of it? Right? Did we just have the what, was it London where they ran the 4x1? Was the whole idea to see who alternate A will be? Like, I don't.
And we had to go to London to do that?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I say all that to say this. I feel like sometimes, and I've dealt with it myself. I can tell you, like, as an individual, my federation responded to me when I had a major issue. And I'm not going to go into the details, but if it was me asking for help, hey, I need help to get through these 3 months, they're looking at me like, I ain't got nothing for you. But if it was if I walked in there and said, hey, I need X amount of dollars over X amount of years, and this and this and that, they're like, And it's political. It's absolutely political, because you're trying to hang your hat on this ginormous thing that you're doing, right? And when it's all said and done, the athletes get it done. Hey, look what happened in Eugene last year. The project is working, right? And that's something, it's almost like, all right, that's for whatever you think is pertinent. But you're talking about individuals that make the collective. You're talking about individuals that need help. And there's no, it's like falling on deaf ears, man. I just feel like, I don't think we're any better than we were 10 years ago. I really do.
Oh, we're not. We're definitely not.
But but we have more money. We have more.
Oh, and we spend way more money than we used to.
So,
right.
Yeah.
I have a question. I have a question, because I don't know the answer to this, and maybe we can enlighten some other listeners, watchers by me asking this. the money that Canada and GB has to support their tiered athletes who qualify, right? Where does that come from?
A lottery.
But like, what do you mean by
Yeah.
lottery? What does
Like
that mean?
the lottery. There is a lottery.
Like Powerball,
Yeah.
Mega Millions?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
But
Yep.
but the thing is, it's like, okay, it costs 50 to $100 million to be a ring sponsor, right? For the USOC and USOPC, right? So money is not the issue, right? And money, that money then gets spent over the course of the NGBs, and it's based off of the medals you win, right?
Right.
So USATF cannot cry poor mouth as it pertains to NGB funding, right? Let's not forget, we are paying our CEO $4 million.
Yep.
Okay, so
Let's
this is
pause.
not a
Pause 1
shot.
second.
No, it's not.
Just pause 1 second, because I don't have a problem with the criticism of that, but I'm always going to point out the athletes voted for that to be the case.
All I'm saying is, because I don't want this to be a diatribe about him and his contract, because honestly, I don't even think it's that relevant. What I'm saying is, money is not the issue, right? There is money there to be spent on a real development program.
Yes.
The issue is there is not a real development program set forth, right? Like, I think to the introduction into the program, like when we start to identify you is when you make the final at the NCAA meet, right? That's how we identify the beginnings of our pool. Obviously, you continue that group with making the final of the USA track and field national championships, right? Because if you're a finalist at USA's and don't make the team and you're not in the 100 or the 400, your season it may be over. It's definitely in flux. But at the end of the day, you could also still be, depending on what event you're in, you could still be top 30 in the world. And so those people are the people that we need to have a $30,000 a year fully transparent funding program for. You get 30 G's, we're not going to send you a check for 30 grand. What we're going to do is we will pay for what needs to be paid for up to that 30. You will send receipts for travel, those things, so that you got a checkbook to actually do what you need to do for what you need to do. But that's what it's for, and then we won't have popsicle problems. The greens will be green, the yellows will be the yellows.
I'm going to use the word appeasement, right? And so what has been done is, okay, so let's talk about the podium coaches, the Brooks Johnson organization, right? And so that organization stands up loud, complains that the people that are coaching the people to win the medals aren't getting paid. So they give that group a little money to appease them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we talk about athlete development. So they set up this tier program. They give those athletes a little money to appease them, to quiet the room. But we just aren't doing enough.
So
that's all I'm saying.
I wanted to get into this because people will say, well, there is a talent protection program within USATF. And there is. I want to read quickly. I'm not the fastest of readers. The 2023 Tier and Talent Protection Program criteria. To qualify for tier status in 2023, athletes must meet at least one of the following criteria. Individual medalists at either of the two most recent outdoor world majors, 2022 World Championships in Eugene or Tokyo 2021 Olympic Games. So if you got a medal in Tokyo or Eugene, you qualify for the tiers. That's an extremely high standard, especially if you're broke with no contract.
Sure.
Here, number two is very interesting to me. And if you ever wonder how relay politics become relay politics, you could be a relay medalist running a leg in at least one round at the most recent World Championship major, Eugene 2022. So you got the 4x1, the 4x4, and the mixed relay 4x4. If you step on the track at all, and a medal is eventually won, you qualify for the tier status program. So you can imagine why athletes and coaches fight and politic and do crazy things to guarantee that athlete X runs in an obscure round of the relay. This is a part of that. And that's a lot of power, for the record, for the people who make those decisions. You're literally changing or blocking lives with these decisions that you make there.
Yep.
Top 12 place finish at the most recent outdoor world major, 2022 Eugene. So if you made it to Worlds and you made the semifinals, and not the finals, but you were top 12, you qualified for the tier status, which means you had to make the team in the first place.
Right. That means you had to make the toughest team.
Make the team in the first place. And number 4, which is the best one for me. This is the one that really,
number four is the coup de grace.
Number 4.
This is definitely the best one.
A top 15 world athletics ranking as of September 30th, 2022. You have to be world ranked according to the chicanery that is the world ranking system. You know, the thing where not who you beat or how fast you run matters, just where you run. So again, if I'm broke with no name recognition, but I'm crushing it, I'm not getting the races. My world ranking is probably not going to be very high. And again, top 15 in the world.
15 in the world. Just think
not
about
top
this.
15 in the U.S. Top 15 in the world.
That's only half of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Like that's the bar. Top half of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL. Top 15 in the world.
Oh man.
Now, mind you, there's like 6 classes of this TPP thing. We ain't got the time, but
no,
those four right there. That's how the system opens. That is very complicated and very difficult to achieve if you are unsigned. It just is. I mean, it's hard anyway.
See, and then here's the thing. So if you think about the whole system, that's helping the rich get richer because the people that have the contracts will meet that.
Yeah,
exactly.
And they're not the ones that need them.
Absolutely.
Yep. And here's the other thing.
Absolutely.
If you are so worried about paying rent and putting food on the table while you're training and all that stuff, how many of those folks actually know this exists? Because is it a situation where USATF
I will say this: they will reach out.
Okay, all right.
They will reach out.
Yeah.
They do reach out.
So they are checking on these things. Okay.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
But yeah, it's and listen, this isn't because we have inside info. This is Googleable.
Yes.
You can just go read it for yourself. It's not hard to find, but it is hard to accomplish.
Right.
And all of this goes back to, a show a year ago, right? When we defined what a professional track and field athlete is, right? What the league is, right? But that's important.
Yeah, let's to surmise this a little bit. Like, I'm not bashing the relay program. Not bashing the relay coaches. We're not bashing that they get paid. We're just asking that we do a better job of supporting the people, the engine that is USATF.
Yes, absolutely.
That's all we're saying. There just got to be a better job of supporting the athletes, of helping athlete development, so we don't hear the crazy stories of people sleeping on couches and working 2 jobs. All that stuff. Yeah.
Spread the wealth.
Yes.
Spread it around. All right. there's definitely more to be said, more conversations to spin off of that, but those to be had in other places, in different circles, with different thoughts as well. So hopefully this is one that just motivates others to converse more about it. So maybe with some different people. But with that being said, let's get into some foolery, some tomfoolery. Track is back.
We are not going to fumble the bag twice on the same topic in the same year. Track is back is all about Faith Kipyegon. And that's it. I don't want to hear nothing else. It is Faith Kipyegon's world. We are all just living in it. 3 world records. And this last one, probably the most impressive of all.
I just, you know what? Look, because we're going to go round and round about this one because this week was crazy. But look, let's just put Faith's situation in context. She went out and maintained a pace that was 5 seconds below world record pace. And then negative split the last 409 meters. Like what she did to the mile record, I don't know that anybody has ever done that to any other world record. Like to break a mile record by more than a second per lap is outrageous.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'm not the smartest guy, but from a percentage standpoint, how did that equate to the breaking of Kevin's 400-meter hurdle record from a 45-second standpoint? I'm not sure because he had broken it before that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if he had gone from 46.78 to 45, what the hell is it? 80, 90, whatever ridiculous number it is, then you're talking about a bigger gap. But because he had broken it and then broke it again, it's probably comparable. But that's what we're talking about, right? I'm going to guess the biggest world record ever be broken prior to this was probably Bob Beeman's world record. Mm-hmm. So you go from 27 really high to 29, 2.5. 2. Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, but that's, but see, Flojo broke the world record obviously by a lot,
right,
but not like this.
He had broken
not
it
like
before.
this.
Yeah.
Right. And this is, again, like most times when you see middle distance and distance records broken, right, they're on pace and then they drop a hammer.
Flojo took 10:49 down from what? 10:70 something?
What, 76?
Yes.
That's almost 3 tenths of a second.
It is, but that's not 4.7 seconds. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm saying. It's like, look, it's a monster drop. Like, look, guys, we don't have to fight about it. We're all on the same page.
Oh, we're not fighting.
Like,
I'm just saying.
We're jumping up and down on the, Faith Kipyegon is the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, exactly. But there you go. Like Clyde said, it's her world. It's definitely her world.
Usually when you break middle distance and distance records, right? That's why they got the lights. You're on pace for 3/4 of it, right? And then you drop a hammer. She ran 1 second and some change beyond pace and then dropped the kick.
Mm-hmm.
There were
like 62, 204, 306. Like, what are we doing?
And unless obviously the best ever because destroyed the record. She won the greatest mile race ever.
Yes.
By 7 seconds.
Yes.
And in said greatest race ever, there were 13 finishers, 12 of which ran personal bests. There were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and including Faith's 7 national
National
record,
records.
area record performances, including, because we are Americans, Nikki Hiltz,
Yep.
who took who off the board?
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
Yes.
And
So-
hey, Clyde, just took it off the board. Small footnote, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Go look
You
at the
know.
results. Oh, the American record got broke. Oh, okay.
Right, no,
For like
and I know
7th
people,
place.
right, and I know people who are like, oh wow, Nikki got the American record. No. Look up whose record that is.
Yep.
Yes.
Look up which one that is, because remember, the mile isn't a race that we really run anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, that record's from the 80s.
So, listen, I mean, there's a lot of amazing things that happen between, Monaco and London, and we can get into them. But can we throw the question out there now? Because I think this race, more than any other race, is a symptom of, because I want to be clear. Faith Kipyegon is the GOAT. Undisputed.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to sit here and pretend like the shoes don't help this 407 happen. I'm just saying.
Or 1973 for third.
Oh boy.
Right. I mean,
Listen, I'm a fan of Zarnell Hughes, so don't nobody at me and talk about like I'm talking smack about him or the Brits, but I just understand this. There have been a lot of really good, pretty special British sprinters that have gone after Linford Christie's British record and John Regis's British record in the 200, right?
Yeah.
And the man took them both down this year.
This year. Yep. Sure did.
And at the end of the day, people are supposed to get faster. I'm not saying it's all the shoes. There's a great number of things involved. But 1973 for a well-beaten third place to take down the British record, not how any of us saw that happen.
Again, a small footnote, right?
Right.
Absolutely.
See, I'm not saying the shoes aren't helpful, but I mean, the work's got to be put in. The man's got to put the shoes on. He's got to run.
100%.
Yes.
It's evolution.
Yes.
It's just what happens. And so I
Of
don't
people
wanna,
and technology. I agree.
Yes,
with
you.
of people and technology.
Right. I mean, we got to give the man credit. He's from what I understand, he's moved to Jamaica.
Yep.
I think he might have some people down there or something, and like he's working hard. Yeah, I actually got a chance to spend some time around him.
Yeah.
Last week, and like the dude is ripped. Like he's working. He's a different
listen,
guy than he was
I
a
am
year ago.
here for the Zarnell Hughes coming out party.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Because at the end of the day, Zarnell Hughes running the way he's running in both events makes the World Championships way more compelling.
So you understand, Sir Lucius, he's doing what because he's from Anguilla. And they don't have an Olympic team, and they don't have a World Championship team. So I mean, he's doing what he has to do. I mean, Shara Proctor, prior to him, having won multiple medals for Great Britain.
Right.
But that race, and Sir Lucius and I touched on this. We saw something in that race that we have never seen before. Can anyone figure out what we saw in that race that we've never seen before?
I know.
We saw someone closing.
What did you see?
We saw
someone
Chabogo
closing
running
Noah
down.
Lyles.
You saw a child closing,
running him down to the line. If that race is 202 meters, it's an L.
The last time
they ran 45 and 50.
The last time we saw
47
goals like this in the 200 was a young man from Arkansas whose race plan That was just what he did.
Or the
But
young
this
or
guy,
the young man from LSU.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Mr. Carter used to do the
Yes,
same
Mr.
thing.
Carter.
And I think that the thing, about that race was like, Zarno has a bit of an advantage. He's home, and the crowd's, about him, and but the thing about it was, Tabogo's last 50,
Boy.
Oh man.
like all of a sudden
I
it was
want
like
the
somebody
numbers.
just picked him up and was like, yeah, same here. Like somebody just picked him up, it's like here, right? Now the problem you have with that is, trust me, Noah noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
So trust me, Noah's on his way back to Clearmont. He's going to do everything he can to make sure he don't get closed on like that again.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's who Noah is, right? He responds to crap like that. Tabogo has been, what's like 993, 44 some change, and 19.5 in like a 12 day period.
Sure
Something
did.
crazy like that.
Yep.
So he's on an absolute roll right now, an absolute roll. So, that's going to be interesting to see. I don't think there's, as much as we have a lot of fireworks on the women's side, I don't think anybody's ready to go out on a limb and predict the men's winner in the 100 at the Worlds,
Mm-hmm.
right?
I can give you the numbers. I can give you the numbers. This is what was produced from the Diamond League, right? I don't know who does these numbers. I don't know how they get them, but I can give you the numbers. What numbers would you like, sir?
Just the last 50
know,
of the top
150 to 200 for the top three.
150 to 200 for the top three. Okay. They have Mr. Lyles at 150 meters, 1470. They have Tabogo at 1470.
No. What was the last segment?
Yeah.
No. Right. No, I'm going to give it to you. So,
okay.
Lyles arrived at 150 in 1470 and then went 0.92, 0.93, 0.94, 0.97, and 101 for his 10-meter segments.
Let me do Tabogo.
Go ahead.
So Tabogo went from 150 to 160. He went 0.91, 0.92, 0.94, 0.96, one flat.
Wow.
Most definitely running him down.
That is
That's
absolute insanity. So what are we oh my goodness. We got a young man in Gainesville that is seeing all of that and is going, all right.
We got work to do. Actually, there's two of them here in Gainesville.
Right. This is true.
Right.
Yeah, so. But I think in watching that was like, but he's the first guy that like got to 150 and was like, I'm gonna attack Noah, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, like I said, the issue you have here is, Noah responds to this better than anybody we've had in a long time.
Yeah.
So he will go back and he and Lance will get ready, They will. And while we're talking about goatish type things, and she's nowhere near the goat, but my God, Nia Ali, come on. Just absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely, like, geez. If anybody that's not a Nia Ali fan, shame on you. Yeah. Shame on you.
I don't think we've ever we've done like men's 110 hurdle GOAT conversations in the past. I don't remember us doing the women's 100 hurdles, but I'm gonna tell you right now, if Nia comes out of 2023 with a gold medal in the hurdles, I'm here for that conversation.
Oh man.
Well, let's see what happens, and then we can have the conversation.
But speaking of the hurdles, and I'm gonna bring it back to the point I was trying to make about the shoes. We haven't taken the time to do it. So a challenge to the audience, to my super nerds in the audience. Maybe the governor will figure this out in the next 10 minutes. But Nike debuted the carbon fiber super spikes for Tokyo. And then everybody else has tried to follow suit, and some have and some haven't. Since the shoes have arrived, look at the world's perspective, look at the global perspective, look at the NCAA perspective. you've seen nothing but records falling. Hell, look at the American high school perspective.
Yep.
So to me, all of these trends, all of these athletes didn't evolve that quickly. All these coaches didn't get that much better that quickly. The technology definitely plays. And to the point, the women's hurdles, we ain't even got to worlds yet. 12, 39, 37, 36, 34, 31, 31, and 30.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, 12-4 ain't shit no more.
Nope.
12-1 has been run.
Yeah.
Right?
Because there's 7 under 1240.
Right. And I think that the 12-1, okay, we'll give the shoes some credit, but the 12-1 is kind of what spawns this, because now all of a sudden they understand that 12-3 isn't fast. It's fast,
I'm
but
with
it's not,
you on that.
but it's not unattainable, I say. So I get in trouble for saying things aren't fast, so let me stop that. But like, that'll be the third thing that Chew takes off my list. But anyway, so, but at the end of the day, like, I think the 12-1 kind of broke the cap off of it, right? Yeah. I'm not discounting the shoes, because I think the shoes, yeah, exactly. So I think that helped. So I think they coincide. Yeah.
I mean,
and I also believe that the shoes have changed the way people run races. I think
so.
I see it more in the women than the men, because you still got to get out. You still have to, I mean, if you're not in the mix, you are not just running people down, especially in the 100. But we're seeing it on the women's side. We're seeing athletes that know that all they have to do, and I'm not trying to disparage or minimize what these women are doing, but think about the change in Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price's approach to the 100.
I'm glad you said that, but look, I love you and you know that.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to Budapest, Shelly's jumping out on him again. Don't kid yourself.
No. And
the mommy rocket is showing up in Budapest, brother.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Trust
me on that.
What I'm telling you is, if you look at Shelly-Ann in the early part of her career, the chin is up and she is fighting.
It's still up.
Okay? Huh? No. Not even nearly.
Look, Shelly-Ann looks like, okay, I won't get in trouble for this one too. I'm in trouble all night. Shelly-Ann looks like that guy that's looking over there and talking to you right here. That's what she looks when she's running. Right? That's what she looks when she's running. And you know it. She's looking to the side and her chin's up in the air. Yeah, that's Shelly-Ann. That's when you know she's running.
Oh my God.
I'll say this though, to the governor's point, right? You guys we all watch track meets the same way. Everybody on these tiles, right? We all saw it out of both of them the same way. If Shelly-Ann Fraser-Price and Talu are running people down, everybody in the entire world has a problem.
Exactly.
Right? Because we know that those two people are going to be out.
Yeah, they're going to start. And I'm going to tell you something right now. For everything that's good, remember I told you this. Shericka Jackson is playing and running 10-9 and 10-8. She ain't running.
Hey, the look on her face after the 2188 in Monaco.
Yes, told it all.
Told it all.
Yep.
I mean,
I do not disagree with what you just said about Miss Jackson. I am right. Like I said, we're gonna get into our predictions at some point in the future. Talu just ran the best race of her career right on time. And she did it exactly the way that I assure you it's been being cooked up for the past 2 years. The transition point is the difference. And if you're a fan of Talu and you've been paying attention to it, you know that is different. That is classic HSI transition right there.
No, it's classic John Smith. No, John Smith.
Yes.
Get the man credit. Get that man credit.
It's my coach.
Yes, I know. So get that man credit. Yeah, call him by his name.
Yes.
Put some respect on that man's name, as we say,
Mr.
right?
Smith.
And I'm gonna tell you this now. Like, just trust the old guy on this one. Shericka Jackson is a whole problem. Okay.
Yeah.
She's a whole problem. She's proven she can start. She's proven she can finish. She's the biggest girl. She's the tallest girl in the field. I call her big. She's the tallest one in the field. see, there's I'm gonna be in trouble with you again. I can't help myself.
And it was a losing effort, but I thought Dina ran about the best race I've ever seen her run.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But London
I don't know if
nice. I mean,
but
a lot of
the
great
best
things
race I've seen.
The women's 100 in Budapest, everybody shows up healthy and ready to run. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
It is.
Oh, that's all I want. And there's going to be some extremely talented people 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, and it'll take you back to London 2012, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and Clyde and I talked about it, privately. Like, we all want to see Sha'Carri do well, but like Sha'Carri could be top 3 or she could be 4th, 5th, or 6th. It's just that kind of feel. And that goes for everybody, not just Sha'Carri.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're a realist, as an American, we want Sha'Carri to win, right? But as a realist, you have to say she's gonna have to be on her absolute A game just to get a medal.
Yeah.
Because the 100 is just that deep. See, my thing with Sha'Carri is like, everything she's done this year has been from behind, right? I haven't seen her jump out and get in the fray early.
Yeah.
Does she have the patience and will she have the time? Because as you just talked about, Shelly Ann and Tolu are going to jump out, and they might not come back.
Like I said, from what we see, they ain't coming back.
Right, and if Sharika's 1060 something, Sharika, she ain't coming back either.
So, I mean, hell, the best starter of all of them right now might be Juju.
Right. See, I don't think that Juju's a great starter. I think she's an incredible accelerator.
Sure. Fair, yes,
right.
Fair. Accelerate.
Yeah. Right.
If you tell me that Juju's going to win 0 to 60, I'm not betting against it.
Nope.
Yeah, you better. If Mommy Rocket's right, you better.
Well, we haven't really
don't get that. Look, I'm just telling you.
So, like, there's one of those things. I want to say it. There's one of those things I just wish would happen one time, where she would just decide, you know what, I'm gonna go whole hog after indoors, and just go break the world record indoors in the 60. Because, God, if she focused on that just for one indoor season,
man.
And see, people pay attention. The Jamaicans do this every year. They go to their championships, they run fast, and then they come after their championships and they're just going around picking up paychecks, right? Like I witnessed Shelly Ann last year, like doing workouts in between meets that were like 2 days apart, right? And then she shows up in Eugene and just crushes everybody because they don't care.
Right.
I'm just telling you from my money, from what I've been watching, Sharika Jackson isn't running. She's just picking up paychecks. If you watch Shelly Ann, like the 1083, like they're nice, but there's just no effort to it at all.
No.
Right?
Mm-mm.
So when she does what we all know she can do from 0 to 30, that's a problem.
Yeah.
And
have we ever seen anything like this where there is a distinct possibility that she was told to do this? Right? Mm-hmm. Race after race after race, we're working on just this.
But again, like I said, like Governor, they do this every year.
Mm-hmm. This, but I've never seen it to this level. Where it's that noticeable. Like, if she wanted to, she could. But
it's like because if you go back, if you watch the London 100. It's hard not to watch Ta Lou because that was textbook.
Oh my gosh!
But you gotta say, okay, look, ignore that beauty, right? Because that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just watch Sharika.
Yep.
And then look at the clock stop at 1094, and you're like, she ain't running,
right?
And so, but and like again, like I think it's gonna be classic. I think Jamaica's gonna be ready. A smart man never bets against John Smith. You don't have to bet for him, but don't bet against him, right? Because he may be one of the best ever, if not the best ever, at getting people ready for championship races.
So I
Yeah.
gotta talk about this because I find it intriguing, like the impending Stevie Wayne Van Niekerk battle.
It won't be a battle.
Okay.
I was
knew
gonna
he
say
was
I don't know
say
why
that.
anybody
Okay.
thinks
No
it's
battle.
going to be a battle.
Okay. So
I knew he was going to say that.
Won't be a battle. Well, see, look, nothing against Wade, okay?
Mhm.
Okay, but Wade's personal best is what?
43-0.
43.
Okay, so he
Yo,
runs
shoot.
44-0 and everybody has, well, behave yourself, Coach Holloway. Everybody goes loses their minds, right? Okay?
Okay, so what's Stevie?
okay,
What's
he's a
Stevie's
full
PR?
43.5. He just ran
43.5.
43.7.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So Wade doesn't need to be at his best to do what Stevie has done at his best.
Mm-hmm.
No. He doesn't
Okay, all
have to
right,
be at
so
his best because
but
that was
Wade
with
has
two. That was with two knees. He's
43
recovered. He's a
flat.
different person.
That was 9 years ago.
Yep.
I hear you.
Yes.
Y'all are terrible.
You just listen. You just said
7 years ago. 7
you
years
just
ago.
said
That man hasn't broken 44. He hasn't broken 44 seconds since when? And
sir,
Stevie does it every year.
cool. Hey, listen, you just said the race isn't gonna be close. We have the
Exactly.
meme ready.
You have
Okay.
it ready?
All
Hey,
I'm
look,
saying about Wade,
and so let the record show that, unlike some of these other jokers out here, if I'm wrong, I'll say I'm wrong.
Mhm.
I'm not
For
gonna be.
sure.
I'm not wrong very often, so I have to say it very often. So it's okay. You know.
I hear
And
you.
I mean,
Wade
I don't
is
think that race is
trending
gonna be
exactly
close.
where he needs to be trending.
How's he trending? He ran 44 flat. He just ran 44.3. He's going the wrong way.
Uh-huh.
You talk about
When's
trends. You the one brought the
Wait a minute.
trend up.
When's the last time we were able to see Wade Van Niekerk healthy, anywhere close to 44 flat, and winning big stage races?
I mean, look, that's
I don't
tremendous.
get
But
your
this is
point.
what I'm gonna say. Stevie is PB this year in the 100 and the 200, and then just dropped 43.7. I'm
Yeah.
confused
It's
why you're talking about anybody else is trending. Right now, Stevie is trending like a colossal favorite.
yes.
I didn't say
Very
Stevie wasn't a
and very
favorite.
quietly and under the radar at that. It's crazy.
Yes.
Well, because
because-
he doesn't run, because he don't race very often. I'm
Yeah.
not saying
Wow.
Stevie isn't the favorite.
Well. Think about that.
I'm not saying Stevie isn't the favorite, but Lucius just said it's going to be a blowout.
I did not see there. I didn't say
Ah!
You did say that.
No.
It's not going to
I
be
said
close.
that.
Hold on a
It's a
second.
blowout, my guy.
I said it was going to be a
I did
blowout.
not say
That's
that.
what I said.
Okay.
I
said
said it
it's
was
not
going to
gonna
be
be
a
close.
blowout.
Pac-9
It's not
said
gonna be
it's going to
close.
be a blowout, and Lucius says
Okay.
it won't be close. So, sir,
It won't.
what can we define what won't be close looks like?
No, look. I don't have a crystal ball, but I tell you what. Give me some time to think about it. I'll get back to you.
Yeah, I just want to know what that term means.
Okay, so listen to me very carefully. Okay, so what I'm saying to you is, okay, I could be wrong, right? Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. But my eyes don't see 43 low from what I see from Van Niekerk right now.
Right.
Okay. Okay. I've seen 43 in the middle and low a lot, and maybe when we get to Budapest, he might look that way, but I don't see that right now.
Right now.
Sure.
And maybe you're right. He's not doing that, but it just is not as easy for him as it used to be.
Mhm.
Oh, that I mean,
hence London, where he's fighting for his life against the two American guys.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and that's all I'm saying. And Stevie has proven that when he's healthy, he's the best guy.
Yeah.
Well,
Proven that.
Well, he's proven that in the absence of Wade Van Niekerk.
And sir, he's still absent.
Oh, God.
All
He's
right.
still absent.
So now Wade Van Niekerk is absent.
Okay. He's absent in relationship to who he used to be.
Okay.
Okay.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it this week that Javon Harrison beat
Mhm.
Barsham?
Yes.
Yes.
It's been a very
Phenomenal
fast week. I
job.
apologize.
An excellent
235.
Yes.
235.
And Miss Bowl, I mean, like, if it wasn't for Sid, we'd be jumping off of buildings for her right now, right?
Mhm.
You know,
She's
phenomenal.
Can we spend some time on Miss Bowl? Because Miss Bowl's race has produced a lot of ignorance on all sides.
Yes.
On all sides of
Yes.
this.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I've
Okay, so
seen
yeah, come
some
on.
disrespect.
Like, okay, like she's a real threat to beat Sydney any day. Okay, so let's start with that. Okay, of course, I mean, anybody's a threat to get beaten if you put your shoes on and get on the track. But Sydney is a lot better than she was a year ago, right? Sydney couldn't run 48.7 a year ago. Not in the open, unless she didn't prove this yet, right? And we all know, knowing her, knowing Bobby, there's more coming.
Yep.
So what about that makes you think that she just going to jump on track and lose the bowl, right? I think what Femke's done is phenomenal. 51.45 is an incredible run, but it's still 0.8 away from the freaking record.
Yep.
Right. A record that Bobby will tell you they left a little bit on the table.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So here's my thing. And I had
there's some meat left on that bone. There's some meat left on that bone.
I had this conversation earlier in the week. I really, really mean this. As far as fandom, I am a bigger fan of Bowl than I am of Sydney for various reasons. But that doesn't mean that I don't have eyes and I'm going to pretend that Sydney isn't what she is, which is the undisputed greatest. Sydney is bored with the 400 hurdles and therefore might just go break an American or world record in her secondary event that she wants to play with. Okay? So, listen, what Bowl did this weekend, if you ignore Sydney for a second, she took down Dalilah Muhammad's #2 all-time mark.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody should be standing on something and applauding that.
Yeah.
Because not only did she do that, it's how she did it. She took her ass whooping by Sydney.
Yep.
Went back, looked at the tape, and made adjustments. And now she's out there trying to run the same pattern that got Sydney to 50 mid.
Yep.
And because she's 6 feet tall and extremely skilled, she can almost get there.
Yeah.
But not quite. So Sydney's a threat to Sydney losing a race. If Sydney brings herself down, she can be beat by Ms. Bowl. But Ms. Bowl not running 50 mid, y'all. That's not going to happen.
Not yet.
And here's the thing. They're a year apart in age. So if Sid re-engages in the event, then we can maybe have some fun battles over the next couple of years. Because they're both babies by definition. Right. Ain't neither one of them 24. So it's a great time for the event, and Bowl should be celebrated. European record, national record, #2 all time. So I don't understand the disrespect of Bowl. Like you can appreciate what she ran without disrespecting the girl. Like Emmanuel I said in a tweet and other things, right? It's just Sid spoiled us. 50 mid's not coming.
We could 10 years from now. We could 10 years from now be talking about how Bowl came around at the wrong time.
Right.
Oh, worst
birthday
ever.
Yeah. So, and along the disrespect front, okay, like let's stop trying to compare either Ariane or Noah to Bolt, please. Please.
Right. That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, like okay, don't get me wrong. I think that Noah Lyles and what he's doing is phenomenal. I've been a Noah Lyles fan for a long time, and I have the greatest respect for Noah. But stop disrespecting Bolt and talking about Noah being the GOAT over Bolt. Let's stop talking about, okay, look, on the under 20 realm, Ariane's the best ever under 20, no doubt about that. But leave Bolt's name out of your mouth. No, that's a whole different can of worms. What Bolt and I'll be the first to tell you that, like, you have to pay attention. Like, Bolt didn't run a lot of 200s. He didn't.
That's right.
But when he ran it, now it was special. So let's stop the comparison. Let's just let Noah be Noah. Let's let Ariane be Ariane. Let's not make this a Jordan LeBron thing all over again, please. Okay?
Well, what we're seeing,
we don't need that.
We don't need that. Is how the spin machine is picking on anything,
Mhm.
anything that we can put out in the atmosphere to get people to think or to go, oh my gosh, Noah is on
Right.
that level, right?
And look, and maybe he might get there someday.
Mm-hmm.
But let's let him get there. Because look, like, you know, I'm a huge Noah Lyles fan.
Yes.
Okay. But like, I think it's disrespectful to even him to have the, don't, you know, let
For
him be Noah, let Bolt be
context,
Bolt. Yeah. Yes.
Well,
context, I don't think anyone will ever run the amount of sub tens that Asafa Powell did.
Right.
But Asafa Powell will be a footnote in Bolt's history.
Mhm.
Again, it is what it is. And it's no disrespect to what Asafa Powell has done. But you just
Right.
happen to come along when the greatest ever put his stamp on the sport and left his mark on the sport. It is what it is.
well,
Mhm.
That's the brutality of track and field. You know?
Oh, absolutely. So here's where I'm at with all of these, because all of these issues tie together for me. I'm an American. I root for American athletes, right? Everybody typically roots for their country people, right? And that's our sport, and I'm fine with all of that. But in the track and field sense, and I'm sorry, Governor, the American delusion and the American arrogance rivals the Cowboy fans. It's crazy. It's crazy because we always try to find
He's
a
going
way
away.
to turn it into something that it's not. Case in point. There, yeah. I knew you were gonna. Case in point.
He's going
And this
away.
might be the best example of all of this in the recent weeks. Sha'Carri Richardson runs the best race of her life and upsets Shericka Jackson in Poland. And the Americans are so ignorant and so hyped to it, they think that stadium was going berserk over Sha'Carri. They were not.
Mm-hmm.
That was about Swoboda breaking their national record at home and getting under 11 seconds.
Okay, may I have a request here for a second?
Sure.
If we're going to take words out of out of Sir Lucius's repertoire, can we take ignorance out of his? Isn't that just as offensive as chick flick?
No, it's not just as offensive. No, not at all. No, but seriously, our fan base tries to make everything about things that it's not when we feel like we're on top of something. The Noah thing or the Aryan thing. Yes, statistically, undeniable. Aryan's the greatest U20 ever. Stamp it, undeniable. That has nothing to do with what he may or may not do in the future as it relates to the greatest ever, which is Bolt.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Same thing for Noah, right? There's so many examples of this. If Bowl was an American, she wouldn't be getting the disrespect that she gets from Americans.
Right. That's a fact.
Hell, if she wasn't white, she probably wouldn't.
Hey, see.
Hey.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm just
you
saying.
said it. It's true.
We got to stop doing that.
Right.
We got to stop.
See. This is what I love about the Noah story, right? Like, people don't understand something. Like, what he is doing is like very, very similar to what God, getting old, Allison did, right? You come out of high school and you slowly build to being one of the greatest ever, right? But let's let him continue to do it and quit trying to make him something he's not yet.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Like, we can't enjoy the wonderful things he's doing now because we're too busy projecting what he might do later. You know, like what he's been doing to this point in his career has been absolutely brilliant. Let's enjoy that. You know?
Yeah.
But and quit trying to compare him to, like you said, to the absolute GOAT.
What's funny, it's like right along the lines of what you're talking about is like, I think Carson Warholm might be the least appreciated athlete in our sport.
Oh my God. Yes.
I
Like,
happen to think it's Ryan Krauser for good.
Well,
sure. One of those
yes.
two.
If Ryan
at the risk of being one of those arrogant, ignorant Americans. Yeah.
If Ryan Krauser was from Norway, 100%. But like this dude runs 46 seconds in the hurdles like everybody does it. Right? Like we need to be clear on this. Like he's running everybody else in the world's PBs on a regular basis. And he's not even close to his.
So
No, you're right about that. But Lucius, to your Krauser, to the Krauser point, everybody not in America appreciates Ryan Krauser appropriately. Americans don't because it's track and field and it's shot put, right?
Right.
But Warholm isn't appreciated at all, really, in this nation. He's disrespected and cast aspersions upon. So I
don't know about the disrespect and cast aspersions.
Oh yeah.
Like maybe by some of those ignorant people you talk about, but like, you know, if you're a true track and field fan, you got to respect what the man does, you know. And like I don't think that Warholm is definitely not disrespected in Europe. There's no way they love him.
No,
they're not.
They're gonna build,
you know,
statues.
So that's my thing is, okay, so you know what Ryan goes through here, you know, like it's just disrespectful because even here in America, Ryan Krauser is not not nearly what he should be.
They just assume he's the offensive lineman
because
on some teams.
because like you said, like
exactly
Ryan Krauser does things every week that people may never do. Right?
That's right.
A bad day for Ryan Krauser is like, hey, that's a foot further than my PR.
We are so spoiled. That guy throws 23 meters every other week. Yeah. And it's to the point where everybody just assumes, like, oh, he just threw 23. Like, look at the all-time record books. There's like 3 people who've ever thrown 23 meters.
Right. I mean, like you said this before, like there's some special things going on in the field of bits in this country, especially on the women's side, right? And you know, we need to start paying closer attention to that stuff. You know what Krauser's doing, what Javon Harrison did in the high jump the other day. You know, was very special.
I think I smell either a top 3 or top 5 most disrespected athletes in our sport right now. I smell a list coming.
Oh, we should definitely do that.
Good.
And you know what? The one thing about Krauser, ain't no shoes helping there.
Nope.
That's
It's the hair.
There's no new shot put technology.
Except some might argue
made to his movement pattern.
Shuttle.
Some might argue that what Mondo has done or what he's doing is he getting the respect for what he's
so no one will tell me that Mondo is disrespected. Mondo's a unique figure, right? Because Mondo is obviously, you know, Team Norway. Right. But that boy is from Louisiana. he's an American.
He's Sweden.
He's Team Sweden.
Yeah.
Team Sweden.
Right. My bad, Sweden. Yeah. Yeah. And so Mondo literally has every competition. Like they stage it in a way that he gets to hold the crowd in his hands. Like they're setting the stage for Mondo to be the star every time he's on. So he's good. He's good.
Didn't he just lose a competition?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
And people freaked out about it. Like, it's fine.
I mean, it's wild too, because the next time he jumps 6 meters, it'll be the 50th time.
Yep.
Good God.
Insane.
Yes. That's insane.
I think that what we're rounding up for the Worlds in Budapest just to be a phenomenal meet. You know, and I'm gonna put this out there because some people have asked me about it. I gave Grant an A. I thought he did a great job. He did some things that are trending in the right direction. I'm really pleased with him. But the guy from Japan in second, he's good, guys.
Hey.
He's good. He's good. Yeah, I can't pronounce his name, but he's good.
Get him.
I'm telling you what, I cannot wait for the final of the women's 800 in Budapest. I think
that's going to be something spectacular.
Absolutely.
Because see again, and maybe I'm just a fan, and maybe I'm one of those ignorant, arrogant Americans that Clyde talks about. But let me tell you something. After watching Miss Mo run 403,
yes,
That's a whole problem.
Yes.
Well,
And
we'll
so
switch places. We'll switch
we'll see.
places. We'll switch places.
Okay.
I think the race is going to be spectacular. I think the times are going to be spectacular. I don't think it's going to be particularly close.
Okay.
I don't either. I don't know if we're picking the same winner, but I don't think it's gonna be close.
It won't be close.
We're picking a thing Mo in a walk.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
All right.
Because
Yeah.
she
Uh-oh.
and again, like, you know, I'm old, so I've been watching this a long time. Bobby is an absolute genius in these situations.
Mm-hmm.
An absolute genius.
Yep.
You know? Just man, I'm telling you. He wants to do something special. He made that clear.
Yeah, because I don't think he's done enough in the sport. He hasn't really left his impact.
No, not at all.
See, and the thing with Bobby is like, if people would leave him alone, he might let it go.
He'd be
But when
quiet.
people stand up in meetings and tell him he's done, you know, and you know that you're old and you enjoyed your time, you know, and you just get him started again, right? You know. So I just think that, you know,
yeah, it's just like that guy's coached a gold medalist in every single Olympics since 1984.
Yep.
Rewind it, watch it again, and hear what I just said. Right?
Either relay or open event. Yes, a gold medal in every.
He's coached a gold medalist in every Olympics since 1984.
Crazy.
Leave
Some
him
of you are not
alone.
even that old.
Let him retire.
It's too late. They poked that bear. He's on fire right now. And look, and let's talk this too. Like, you know, and no disrespect to Edric, but Kenny seems to have a new fire in her belly. And, you know, this is the most consistent she's been in a very, very long time. You know, like, you can't discount the fact she ran 12:28 for Edric, but she's dropping 12 threes on a consistent basis right now. You know, and again, Bobby at his best. So that's another one that, you know, we'll see if she can overcome some of the demons she's had in the past. But she's trending towards something special in Budapest as well.
Yep.
You know, something very special.
True.
Yeah, we're 3 weeks away from Budapest, if I'm doing the math correctly.
Yep.
It's probably, you know, you're probably messing it up, but it's close. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was gonna say you're messing it up, but it's all right.
It is.
Is
because
this
it's the
Memphis
21st.
meet? Is this Memphis meet shaping up to be a good one? I mean,
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Well, see, because there's
Seems
a lot
like
of
it.
people here in the States. So you got the people that are going to Worlds that want the last tune-up, and you got the people who didn't make the Worlds team who are
Got a
trying
chip
to get
on
a
their
contract.
shoulder.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, that kind of deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to make a mark.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are all
right.
the qualifying windows closed yet?
They close on the 31st.
31st.
Okay.
So, I mean, there's a lot to be said about everything going on, what just happened in track and field, what's going to happen in track and field, and what's brewing, because it's not happening yet. So, with that, we will transition to Would You Rather. Powerhouse, you're up, sir.
Oh, let's go. It's that time, baby.
It is, but again,
The Pac-9 will rise again.
well,
Shit.
I don't know.
Wow.
Oh,
That's
that is.
bold.
You know, that'd have been the perfect meme for the little boy.
It's
You know, you guys all know what I'm talking about. Too,
Yep. I'm bull.
The Pac-8's about to rise again.
hey.
Oh
Now,
my god.
it's not time to pour
Listen.
any liquor yet. Let's see.
Oh, listen, they're about to be some slow singing.
Oh man.
But anyway.
All right.
Would you rather?
Anyway.
I know. Would you
I
rather?
would rather.
Powerhouse. Would you rather teach baseball lessons or track technique sessions?
Ooh. Teach? I'd rather teach track sessions.
Okay. Would you rather get allergy shots or take allergy pills?
I'm not allergic to stuff, so I don't know. I guess I'll say pills, because pills are probably better than shots, I guess.
Would you rather sleep on a sofa bed or a futon?
Ha ha. Oof. the age of either one of those things makes a huge variance. Because a new futon, you're fine. You know, I guess I'm gonna say a sofa bed.
It sounded
Gonna
like
say
a
a sofa
question
bed.
mark after that.
Someone put it out there. Someone made this post about what it was like to be in a relationship in college and sleeping on a twin mattress.
Oh my God! Yes, yes.
Snuggle bunnies. Snuggle bunnies.
We made it
Yes.
work.
Made it work.
Terrible, terrible life. Terrible life.
Whole right
That's so
side
funny.
just falling asleep.
Absolutely.
But everybody right now understands what that is. That's the best. That's really funny, actually.
Oh man.
Would you rather cheer for the Las Vegas Raiders or the Las Vegas A's?
Oh, I would definitely not want to cheer for either, but there's no question I would rather cheer for the Las Vegas A's.
Mm.
There's probably not an amount of money that could get me to be a Raider fan of any kind.
Would you rather have an American record or a world record?
Girl, stop. A world record.
Answer the question, man.
No. Might be patriotic
A
today.
world record, please. I would like to be the top flight of the world, Craig.
Would you rather do a clap start or a grunt start? Practice starts. It's like what, like so on your mark
yes.
set, or on your mark set.
I'm a hoop guy.
Okay. I have methods to this now. Too, by the way, I'll have to expand on this.
I
Later.
see.
But
Oh, Lord.
I see.
Gentlemen, questions are for you.
Okay, so would you rather spend a week with observing training with 1 week with Shelly and Fraser Price, or 1 week with Mondo Duplantis? Oof.
Ah, 1 week with Mondo Duplantis.
Mm.
Mondo Duplantis might be better at pole vaulting than anybody has ever been at anything. It's a might.
And
It's not a
here
lock,
we
but it
go.
might be. No, I'm being serious.
I mean, you'd be hard pressed to argue against that.
Anybody at anything. I just want you to understand what he said, and then we'll just move on.
I understand.
Big shoe there.
I understand.
It's a huge anyway.
It is, but it's
hey, people, we have questions, Clyde.
Yeah, would you rather?
Questions,
you
please.
know, see,
Would you rather?
You see,
No, pontificate, sir. Go ahead.
No. Would you rather?
all I was gonna
Would
say.
you rather hear him pontificate? No, we would not.
All I was gonna say was Mondo has the age record in the pole vault at every age.
Okay.
Right? That is
We
very, very, very difficult to do in anything.
The pontification continues.
Listen, that's another P word. So anyway.
Exactly.
Gosh. Oh man.
You better have a question all this time you had.
Oh, I do. All right. Would you rather have become world class in the triple jump or the discus? And you know,
Well, I think it would have been cooler to be world class in the discus at 190 pounds.
I don't know if I ever told you this, but I am a closet discus thrower. I'm coming out. On the
You have to
YouTube
come to
verse,
practice.
I'm letting everybody know. If anybody knows me on some random occasion, I will start spinning. I will just do it. Just out of the blue. I'll do it.
Oh,
There, I said
Thanks,
it.
hey,
I
Thanks
feel
for the
cleansed.
warning. We appreciate the warning.
I feel cleansed. I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Oh, I am
My name is
definitely
Kareem,
clipping that.
and I'm a discus thrower.
Hello, Kareem.
Slide, help us.
Man.
Since we are in coaching carousel madness,
Oh boy.
Ruh-roh.
would you rather, which is more painful for you, hiring people or firing people?
Ooh.
Man, oh man.
That's actually a really good question.
What I do?
Hiring people requires a great deal more work and effort and is more laborious. Firing people, especially if they are people that you hired, firing people is brutal. It's gut wrenching. Even when it's like their fault, right? Like even when it's like, nah, you got to go. It's still difficult. So I'd rather put in the labor to hire someone than to feel the gut wrenchingness of putting someone in a position where they don't have a job.
See, Lucius, I got us out of here on a good
I appreciate you,
informational
dog.
note.
I appreciate you. Because I was worried there for a little while.
We'll further inspire by giving people props in heartbeat props. I'm going first,
Ooh.
getting out of the way. No,
All
you
right.
want to go first.
Oh, Pac
said,
9,
all
you're
right.
definitely closing the show.
My heartbeat props go to the NACAC U23 team and staff. We got back. We did some damage out there. We definitely set a whole bunch of records. I actually haven't taken the time to count yet, but there are very many reset this past weekend. And we took home a lot of medals, like a lot. Not even just the NCAA, but USA themselves. So shout out to the jumps crew who did very well this weekend, women's jumps crew specifically, but men's as well, who did very well. And it was a pleasure to be eyes for you all. So thanks for having me along for the ride.
I'll go. I've had some very interesting and also disturbing conversations over the last week, and I just want to remind people that check on your people, check on your friends, check on your family. Mental health is real. I know I've been saying that a lot over the last few months, but I'm gonna continue to say it. And check on those who you think are strong. Check on those who don't ever seem to have an issue, because most times they do and they're just covering it up in some way. And if somebody reaches out to you, believe them, so you don't have to regret it later.
I want to send out heartbeat props to the athletes that are coming off of summer vacation. And I'm waiting. I'm probably a week away from the athletes that overthink everything, that are about to ask me, hey, what's coming down the pipe? Can you tell me what like week 1 is going to look like? Hey, coach, when are we going to start practice? Those kids. I want to send heartbeat props out to them. Relax. It's going to hurt regardless. We'll get through it together.
I'll go.
When you told me I had to go last.
Yeah. Nah, I wanna do my heartbeat props in the coaching carousel space tonight to Mr. Michael Snap, formerly of Alabama State University, who just recently accepted the head coaching position at Mississippi Valley State. If you're a fan of the SWAC or you've spent time in the SWAC, you know what a tight-knit group it is. And I'm very appreciative of my 4 years in the SWAC and serving on the staff at Alabama State under Richie Bean. with Michael Snap. But Snap's a lifer. Like, he's been there forever. And let me be clear, Dr. Michael Snap. He's taken a big step here, a well-deserved step, and taking the chair for the first time. Proud of you, bro. Glad to see it. I'm certain that you're gonna crush it out there, and the SWAC just got better with the addition of you in one of the chairs. So the carousel will continue to spin, but that right there is one of the cool stories of the summer, and one of the appointments that I'm happy that we can speak about because it has now officially been announced. So props to you, Doctor, and can't wait to see what you do with it.
That is oh so awesome. My heartbeat props are lighthearted tonight, and Clyde knows where we're going, so he's been alluding to this all night. I really just I want to speak some joy and some hope into those Pac whatever alumni like myself, because it's been the 6-pack, the Pac-8, the Pac-10, the Pac-12, and at least as of today, it's the Pac-9. I don't think the carnage is done. And if we're gonna really just look at some tea leaves and forecast, we're probably 12 to 18 months from a really big 10 and a really big 12.
I mean, we're 14 right now, so.
I mean, there's about to be a Big 12 West, and all the Pac-12 schools will just get rebranded.
So there's already been language that the 12, the TV folks said they wanted to stop at 16. So.
Oh yeah, but because you remember, I said this a long time ago. I thought we were going to end up with 4 power conferences at 16.
Yeah.
But it's wild, and like Colorado leaving the Pac-12 is the most disrespectful, right? Like that being the last brick, if it were, like if that's the tipping point to where the Pac-12 no longer, exists in its current iteration, that's just so disrespectful. This is the Conference of Champions. This conference has won more NCAA championships than any other conference, and it is going out like a lamb.
You just sounded like Bill Walton. Those are Bill Walton's words. That's his calling card right there.
It's just so true. Like,
oh God,
like, it's just so true, and it's just so brutal to watch it happen brick by brick, and just to be like, for Colorado to be like, nah, I don't want to dance with y'all no more. We're gonna go back to the conference we left.
You know what it is. Here's the analogy for it. The Pac-12 has been like the worst version of an unfaithful, significant other. You dropped the ball so bad that you lost your main thing. You lost LA, and now your side chicks are walking out. Like,
I mean, absolutely,
you're at the bottom.
Big league save us.
Oh my God, I have a cramp in my rib.
Absolutely.
Listen, Colorado's a side chick. Don't get it twisted.
Oh God.
Oh sheesh, I can't.
Not engaging.
I think the Pac-12 commissioner has already alerted Stanford and Cal to just turn out the lights when you leave.
Okay, true. All right. We're
my gosh. All right. Well, wrap it up before this gets out of hand. I do want to give a shout out. I know, right? We've been off the wheels. To these 4 other tiles that sit on the screen with me, because they checked on me this week, and we being definitely people who don't tend to seek help, don't know that we need help till we need help. So thanks, gentlemen. Appreciate you. appreciate this circle. So with that said, we will bid each other adieu till next time. You'll all see this on Friday. You'll all text us or send us a message Friday night or Saturday morning. And until then, we'll see you later. Have a good one, y'all.